There we are. I was always wondering what the gavel was for. So if folks in the audience could take a seat, I'd appreciate it. Oh, my hair. It's not beautiful yet. Welcome to the Wednesday, December 17th City Council meeting for 2014. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And one last time, the roll call, please.
Councilmember Wong.
Present.
Former Councilmember Santoro.
Here.
Former Councilmember Mahoney.
Here.
Vice Mayor Chang.
Here.
Mayor Sinks.
Here. Madam City Clerk, do we have any postponements?
No postponements unless you want to postpone the swearing-in ceremony.
No, I want to swear. I'd like to swear tonight, actually. So. And are we doing oral communications now or later?
Your call. If I don't have any cards for oral communications.
Okay. I think it would be appropriate to take cards for Orrin and Mark at this time. So I'm going to ask Mahesh Nilani, Rich Abdullah, and Anjali Kausar. Yep. Michael Gottwald. If you'd like to address our outgoing council members, now would be an excellent time to do so. Well, where is it on the script?
It's on the third point. You say you can call it script.
Well, I'd be happy to. Where is it?
The third point right here.
I can't. Is that what you guys would prefer to do? Audience members, you're right. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to stand down for just a minute. Sorry about that.
He's new. He'll get the hang of it.
I know. If there's anything not on the agenda that anybody would like to address the council on, now would be the time. Is there anybody in the audience that doesn't want to address this ceremony? Great. I will move on then. We have election results.
Yes, we do. The three candidates who received the most votes for the council member are Barry Chang, Savita Vaidhyanathan, and Darcy Paul.
Thank you very much. So, at this time, we're going to recognize one of our two outgoing council members. And can we roll the video of Orrin Mahoney, please?
We're here also this evening with Orrin Mahoney, who's been working hard to run for City Council. Orrin, how are you feeling tonight?
Cautiously optimistic, I think, is a term. So right now I'm like 180 votes ahead out of 4,000. So one of the things that come back to me is every vote counts. I, Orrin Mahoney,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States. This place is very unique in having all the community groups work together towards common goals. So I talked earlier about, marrying Cupertino and are we ready to do that? I don't know. Let's take a look. As I said earlier, I didn't think anybody was ready to marry Cupertino by getting a tattoo. But as I put this presentation together and realized all the things that we loved about Cupertino, I decided, why not? So I went wanting to shop Cupertino, went looking for a tattoo partner here in town, and surprised there aren't any. So I went to the House of Pain tattoo shop in a nearby city to implement my plan. And then I decided that all elected officials in Cupertino should get tattoos. So I used my vast powers as mayor to make that happen. We love Cupertino, and we're ready to work for you.
Now, Orrin, I think it's only fair to let the audience know of your long and wonderful service to the city, and I'm going to briefly read out the record of service that you have. Beyond all your Rotary and other wonderful civic engagement, the things that you've done in particular for the city are these. You were on the Planning Commission from 1991 to 1999. You were elected to the City Council in 2005 and again in 2009. You served as mayor in 2009 and again in 2013 with great distinction. And you served on city committees. Many of you don't know this, but we have all of us serving on city council, all kinds of assignments on the city and within the region. And Orrin served 7 years on the Economic Development Committee for the city, and I would say our economic health is high at this time. The Legislative Review Committee for 7 years, also on Audit Committee, Sister City Committee, Tax Equity Allocation Committee, Fiscal Strategic Committee, and the Library Committee. Your regional assignments included 5 years on the Stevens Creek Trail Joint Cities Working Team, 6 years on various Santa Clara Valley Water District committees and commissions. You served for 4 years on the Santa Clara County Transportation Agency Policy Advisory Committee, a very important committee in the region. You served as mayor twice, and therefore on the West Valley Mayors and City Managers Commission, as well as on the as school board liaison, and you served on the Santa Clara County Library JPA, and you served a year at ABAG as well. So you've done almost everything, and we honor and thank you for your years of service. And at this time, we have
You forgot
some
bocce-
special
bocce
party
ball.
balls. Bocce ball? Oh, yeah, you were our bocce ball team leader for the League of California Cities. And you did serve on the League of California Cities as well, right?
No, I was not on the board.
You weren't on the board.
No.
You were engaged
to
with them.
Gilbert.
You left that to Gilbert. Okay, very good. So at this time, we have some gifts for you.
You'll be surprised.
Memory box, all right.
You want to come over here? Sure. All right. What do you got in there?
Okay, it says it's a memory box, actually, let's start at the bottom. Cupertino logo shirt.
All right.
I love Cupertino hat. Great. City of Cupertino service pin. Great. City of Cupertino business card holder. Terrific. iPad Air 2. And the box. Thank you
Oh, what's
very
inside?
much. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Why don't you show that to the audience?
Let's not
That's
drop
beautiful.
anything here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Thank
service.
you. Absolutely. Great.
So, Mayor, can I say a few words about Orrin?
What are you?
Hang on. I've been warned to stick to the script.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to do that in a moment.
Okay.
But first, we're going to have some time to honor Mark Santoro. Let's roll the video. Uh-oh.
I thought it was an interesting learning experience. It was definitely great getting to meet a lot of people in the city with a lot of diverse views. I really enjoy that, just seeing what the issues are in different neighborhoods. And I met a lot of really nice people, so I thought that was probably the highlight for me.
I, Mark Santoro,
I, Mark Santoro,
do solemnly swear to support
do solemnly swear to support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
1, 2, and 3.
I
I, Mark Santoro,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic. Anyway, I like to be to the point, so I'm going to save you all the suspense, and I'm going to let you know that the state of Cupertino is good. That pretty much is my talk, and thank you for coming. Okay, so anyway, juggling is kind of, I guess, a reasonable skill for a mayor to have, because you're always juggling lots of things. Sometimes you're trying to keep certain things in the air while keeping an eye on something else. So, however, I think the most important thing with being able to juggle when you're the mayor is making sure that someone's got your back. Thank you. So can I have it? See, the other thing, council members, is they give you extra things to do, I guess, but it's been a while, so I'm going to just stop there, and thanks for the help. Whereas on Tuesday, April 17th, 2012, the City of Cupertino wishes to recognize Arbor Day. And whereas the City of Cupertino wishes to show its support for Arbor Day, I think it was already done. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to take this opportunity to thank my fellow council members. The council all voted to put this station in. I think it's a wonderful thing for the future. Thank you. I've been the Sister City Liaison, as many of you know, for several years. This year it's Councilmember Gilbert Wong. But the Sister City reps, I must say, I count as my friends as well as colleagues. They're wonderful people. They've done a great job. And actually, each table that we're going to put you, this is a workshop, we are going to put you to work. So each table is going to be assigned a topic, and we're going to try to get some input from the room about the topic. So what we're hoping to come out of this workshop is something similar, that we find the goal here, so my goal here is to come up with things we can do better. As we leave here, we should probably step by and take a look at the quote from George Washington. I think there's probably no better measure of a country than how they look upon their veterans. And I think it's very important. And I don't think I think thank you is a good phrase. I don't think there's anything we can say to really thank people who have gone over there and fought. And I also want to thank my fellow council members I've served with. It's been a pleasure. And those of you who are still up here, I wish you the best of luck the rest of this evening. Once again, I just really want to thank the residents for giving me the opportunity to serve you. Thank you.
So, Mark, you've also served with great distinction. Nobody does his homework more than Mark Santoro. That's my personal experience of you in all things. Most notably here on the dais and also as part of the audit committee where we've served together, really strengthening the finances of the city. So I really appreciate you and have a real experience of you from the audit committee as well as seated here at the council. But you've also served with distinction on the Cupertino Disaster Council for 6 years, on the Sister City Committee for 3 years, where you were very active, the Audit Committee I mentioned for 4 years, and on the Fiscal Strategic Planning Committee 5 years in the city. And Mark's regional assignments have included a stint on the West Valley Mayors and City Managers Association, as well as 6 years on the Santa Clara County Emergency Preparedness Council. So Mark was elected, for those of you who don't know, twice, in 2008 for a partial term and then re-elected in 2009, and he served as mayor proudly in 2012. So another hand for Mark. And at this time, I believe we have some lovely gifts for you as well. So maybe you'll join us up front.
Imagine that, it's a box. And ditto to what Orrin said. Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Now would be a great time, Barry, for council members up here to say farewell to Orrin and Mark.
Okay. Orrin, it's been a pleasure working with you. Not easy, but very pleasure. Especially when you're twisting my arm about the Apple Campus 2 project. You're really twisting my arm really hard. But I do appreciate you've been twisting, okay? I enjoy the pain. And also, especially thanks for your endorsement for this race, okay? That make quite a difference. Really appreciate it. Never forget about you. Mark, learned quite a lot of trick from you too. So it's quite a lot of experience. I enjoy it, most of them. And I have a special personality. Sometimes it's hard to work with it. I understand that, after I get onto the city council. But I do learn quite a lot. Really appreciate it, your help.
Gilbert? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First to my good colleague, Orrin Mahoney, 9 years on the Cupertino City Council, 8 years on the Planning Commission. I think of all the years experience that we have together on the City Council, it adds up to a lot. And I really admire Mr. Mahoney in helping lead this council together. Orrin really helped me that sometimes when I get out of control or really emotional, it's like, calm down, Gilbert, everything will be fine, And I really like on how he brings civility to the council, calms us down, bring us toward the center and bringing people together. Outside the council, even a really great community leader from the Rotary Club to the Chamber as we go hand in hand in helping the community. So all the years of experience that you brought to us, I know 3 times is the charm in getting onto the council, and it was a very humbling honor to work with you. Thank you very much. And as for my good friend, Councilmember Mark Santoro, who always does not listen to me sometimes, has very unique ways in running an election, but he did get elected on the special and on your re-election, and has been a really good partner in crime with me in keeping me out of trouble, helping me sometimes understand where the community and staff is coming from, and has just been a really good friend of me. We almost see eye to eye on almost like 80%, 90% of the items, and sometimes we don't see eye to eye, but we remain good friends, and I'm going to really, really miss you a lot, and you've been a very good friend to me, so thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, and Sheriff Smith, he didn't really mean that partner in crime bit.
So, yeah, Mark, I really appreciate your intelligence, your study, the thoroughness with which you dissect issues in closed sessions as well as in open sessions. You've been of great help, I think, to the council in forming opinions and picking out the nuance and making sure we were taking a good path. And so, whether on the audit committee or otherwise, you've been a leader on this council, and I thank you for that. And Orrin, you've been a wonderful mentor to me. I mean, I really appreciate your wisdom above and beyond things. I mean, we haven't seen eye to eye on some issues. We have on many, but what I mostly appreciate is your, being a voice of reason and doing the right, having the conviction to do what you think is the right thing, even when it's hard, even when there's a large group in the audience that would like you to express yourself differently. But I think you represent people not only in the room, but you represent the large number of folks that aren't in the room, and you do that very effectively, and you're one of the best communicators I know. So thank you for your service. And at this point, I would invite either one of you to, you want to go first?
Sure. So after 9 years on the council, it's going to take me a long time to talk about that tonight. Oh, wait, I'm not on the council anymore, so I guess I better limit it to 3 minutes. After watching these guys on the last few things going for hours. No, anyway, it's been great. It's not like every minute's been great, but it's been 9 years of fun, and you can see that in the videos. You can see that in the interaction that we have up here, not just with this council, but with former council members. So we all come from a different place, and we don't agree on everything, and you wouldn't want us to all agree on everything. Everybody brings a little bit of a different view, but in the end, the decisions we've made, at least while I've been on the council, I look back at 9 years, and there's only 1 or 2 decisions where I think it would have been great if we would have made the other decision. And that's out of, hundreds, if not 1,000 decisions that we made up here. And almost all the decisions that we make are usually on 5-0, 4-1 votes. Sometimes it gets split 3-2, but that's a rarity. So the council members are great. It's been great working with them, and everybody up here has Cupertino in mind. They may have a different view of what's right for Cupertino, but they all have Cupertino in mind, and that's something that definitely gets lost at the next level up when you get to the state and get to the U.S. Congress. But it stays here, and that's true. Great staff. This is a very special place, and we talk about that. I was at a retirement party yesterday for one of our key staff that was leaving in the Park and Recs Commission, and he told that to all the people there, and I've seen that. And having worked at HP for 35 years, when it was a very special place to be there, I see that that same spirit, that same care about the people here, and about the community that I saw there in the best of times at HP. As council, we only get to pick 2 staff, and that's the city manager and the city attorney. And while I've been on the council, with the help of my fellow council members, we've made 2 unbelievably excellent selections with David Brandt and Carol Carade in that area. And then they've gone on and selected the rest of the staff to work for you guys out there as well. Finally, being on the council gives you an opportunity to do a whole bunch of other things and meet a whole bunch of other people. And you heard Rod allude to all the committees we're on. Those are great because it really gives you a chance to meet the other elected officials here in the Valley. And they're very impressive people. It's not just Cupertino, and Cupertino is not a standalone city. We're here cheek by jowl with all these other cities that we have to interact with and share things. And it's really nice to see the quality of the people that are out there in the rest of the cities as well. And finally, as certainly as mayor in particular, but just on the council, you have the opportunity to get involved in lots and lots of community activities. And sometimes there are activities where I feel, I should go, and I ought to go. And almost every time, by the end of it, I was glad that I got to go, whatever the event was, whatever the community group that I was meeting with. So it's been great, and I'm really happy with the council that's going to be up here in a few minutes to replace us. I think that the electorate did a great job, and looking forward to them continuing on all the great work that this city does. Thanks.
Thank you. Mark.
First, I have to confess that I didn't read all the packet tonight, so sorry about that.
Obviously, neither did I.
But you usually did, and I counted on that.
Yeah.
I must say I'm impressed. I remember a few years into serving, Rick told me that he was glad I became mayor so he could get enough footage of me for when I leave because I don't like my picture taken. I'm surprised he got what he did, and given that video, I'm not going to juggle tonight as well. But my hand's getting better, so getting close, just for those of you that are following that whole story. First, I would like to not name everybody that I'd like to thank, because it would be like the Academy Awards and go on forever. And there's so many people that need to be thanked. That and besides, I'd forget somebody, then they're always bothered. But I'd like to start out first by thanking staff. All the members up here have been great and wonderful to work with. But the staff of Cupertino, who a lot of people have seen me, I'm very much a perfectionist, as most of you know. I'm very demanding, but I must say that the staff has just been incredible. And I thoroughly believe that there's no city that has a staff as good as this one here. I know the public, sometimes you don't always fully understand what's going on, but trust me, the staff here works very hard for the public. And I don't think I can ever say enough good things about them, and they're really wonderful, and I want to thank all of the staff, plus the people up here who have been really great to work with. I've made friends and colleagues, I've learned a lot, and they're just super people. with regards to my council, it's been a pleasure. I actually don't find any of your personalities hard to get along with up here. I've enjoyed it. I must say a good word to my fellow council members. Whether you agree on what we've all voted for and we don't always agree, I must say, as I've said before, that I can't imagine seeing a group of people that work so hard for the city. I mean, there's probably 3 events every day that can be gone to, and most of this council works very hard showing up at public events, working hard trying to do the right thing. That we all work hard in different ways. We kind of split up tasks. Some of us like to travel, some of us don't. But as a group, this council has worked very hard, and I want to thank all of you for your dedication to the community. You guys really have put in a lot of time and effort, more so than anybody can understand unless you're up here. And the things that council members have to deal with are difficult, and I would encourage the public down the road to respect that and understand that it's a very difficult job up here, which you really couldn't understand if you're not here. Which brings me to the last. I'd like to obviously thank all of my friends and family members that have supported me, and mostly I'd like to thank all of the members of Cupertino. You guys gave me a chance to have a really good experience. I've learned a lot. It was a pleasure serving all of you. This is just a great city. I could have lived anywhere I wanted to live, and I chose Cupertino, and I've never regretted. It's just a wonderful place. I encourage all of you to stay active. Freedom costs. Pay attention. A little concern over your government is a healthy thing, I think. So always pay attention. I've strived to make sure that the government is more open to you, and hopefully you will take advantage of that and pay attention to what your government is doing. I want to thank all of you that have paid attention to what's going on in the city, and the rest of you that are just nice people to live with, thank you as well. It's been wonderful serving you. Thank you.
Some of you may be new to council proceedings. If you'd like to speak, everybody gets 3 minutes, just like every time. And all I'd ask is that you come up to the front here, fill out one of these blue cards with your name, and this would be a great time to address Orrin or Mark, and/or Mark. If you want to do that, fill out a blue card and get it into the clerk in the next minute or so, all right? And I am going to start then finally with Mahesh Nilani.
Good evening, everybody. This is, I'm going to keep it very, very short because a lot of people behind me want to speak. For Orrin and Mark, we'd like to thank you on behalf of us, our families, and the community for your friendship and support always. Orrin, of course, from what one heard and everybody heard about, you know, the number of years and number of things you've been involved with the city, you are actually more than married to the city. So, you know, maybe you could start wearing a ring and the city can give you a ring also for that. Yeah. And as far as future is concerned, I thought I would, you know, say that, all right, you can now go back to Carroll, but looking at what you have in your plate, and we're very proud to learn that you're going to be one of our district governors in the coming future. So congratulations for that. Mark, thank you so much for your years of service to the city of Cupertino and us, and your cooperation and your friendship, and bringing transparency to the city working, and you know, and being a man of principles. We really admire and appreciate that, and you have all our support and the best of wishes always. Ram and I started a tradition here of bringing cakes for such events, happy events to celebrate, and so we have one cake here for Orrin and you, Mark. And as they say it, now you can have your cake and eat it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I just forgot. I also have with me Reena and Mahesh Pakala for the Bhubaneswar Cupertino sister city. So just for 2 minutes, and they have 2 gifts for Orrin and Mark.
Let's go and give it.
Thanks. Okay.
It's made of palm leaves from Orissa.
Ah, okay. I got it. Ooh. Oh, wow. Wow. Interesting. Very.
Thank you very much. Rich Abdullah and Anjali Kauser.
Good evening. My name is Rich Abdullah, and I am the incoming president for the Chamber of Commerce here in Cupertino for 2015. And on behalf of our board of directors and our members, I would like to extend our sincere thanks and good wishes to both Orrin and Mark. In particular, Orrin, we'd like to thank you for your 9 years of service to the city of Cupertino. You have been an active supporter of the business community and an active participant in our various events, and we look forward to seeing you in the future, because we intend to not let you go by the wayside, that's for sure. And Councilman Mark Santoro, you have given 7 years of your time to the community, both as a city council member and in other activities as well. And on behalf of the chamber, we wish you nothing but the best in the future. And we hope you stay engaged in the city. We have a couple of flowers here from Anjali who'd like to walk up and hand those to you. You want to do that, Anjali? You want me to do it for you? You want to do it?
All right, thank you.
Hope to see you around the city.
Oh, you will.
Not going away.
Thank
Right?
you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great. Next we have Michael Gottwald, followed by Captain Kenneth Bender.
I'm Michael Gottwald, and I'd like to thank outgoing council members Orrin Mahoney and Mark Santoro for their years of service to the residents of Cupertino. Cupertino would not be what it is today if it would not be for Orrin Mahoney and Mark Santoro. Good luck in your future, and goodbye, my friends. We'll miss you.
Thank you, Michael.
So are you still Captain Bender?
Thank you, Mayor. Sheriff Lori Smith did just recently promote me to Assistant Sheriff. So.
Oh, yeah.
On behalf of Sheriff Lori Smith, Under Sheriff John Hirakawa, and the other Assistant Sheriff Carl Nussel, we really do want to thank you, council members Orrin Mahoney and Mark Santoro, for your dedicated service over the years. There's no doubt in our minds that you always had public safety and the welfare of the public in mind with the decisions that you made. You were a support to law enforcement. We have some thank you plaques that have your names in the years that you were of service here in Cupertino, and thanking you for your support. So I'll come up and give those to each of you. And I have a final plaque as well for the entire 2014 City Council. It has each of this council's names on them under then Mayor Gilbert Wong, and I'll give this plaque to you. And this is thank you for your partnership with the annual Heroes Run, which was done back on November 8th of this year. It actually raised approximately $40,000 for the VMC Pediatrics unit. So thank you for your service, and we really appreciate the partnership.
Thank you, Ken.
Very quickly, if you look at Sheriff Lori Smith, she has the 3 best captains who served the West Valley cities with Nussel, Hirakawa, and Bender. And I want to say thank you to Sheriff Smith for sending us 3 wonderful folks that was before, and we look forward to the next West Valley captain as well, too.
Whoa.
Marty Miller, followed by Helene Davis, followed by Jennifer Griffin.
Mark, I think the city will miss you. I've watched your years on the council. I noticed that when you ran for election, you never took donations, you never accepted endorsements, and you remained independent. And your focus was on the residents and the city only, and you're to be commended for that. And not only that, you were a strong proponent of open and transparent government. And along those lines, when you were mayor, you actually held meetings periodically where anyone in the city could come and talk to you if they had any issues or misunderstood anything. You took as much time as necessary to help them understand what was going on and give them a better perspective of the city and what was happening here. You've always been prepared. I would echo the comments that Mayor Sinks has said in terms of your ability to be prepared, and not only be prepared, but essentially to be a leader on the council in terms of new ideas and innovative ways to address some very difficult problems that the city had before us during your time here. Thank you very much for your service, and again, we'll miss you and hope you'll be back soon.
Thank you. Helene, followed by Jennifer Griffin, followed by Deborah Jameson.
I'm next, right?
You're next.
Hi, I'm Helene Davis, and I'm here in a few different capacities. First of all, I want to thank Orrin Mahoney and Mark Santoro for your years of public service. And I agree, you always did your homework, and you had very thoughtful questions and also very thoughtful responses, and I really appreciate that. And one thing I'll miss, Orrin is very photogenic. I don't know if you know that, but every picture he's in, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's the charisma, so we'll miss that as well. I also want to give a shout out to our outgoing mayor, Gilbert Wong, for his passionate advocacy of the sister city committees. And then also as a member of a sister city committee and also as a board member of the Cupertino Historical Society, I want to thank the entire council for your support of both organizations. So we'll miss you. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, Helene. Jennifer Griffin, followed by Deborah Jameson.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Griffin, and I'm so glad to be here to wish you all good luck in your future endeavors. Thanks to our city council. You guys have to go through some very, very tough fights, but you all are very, very bright, and we're very pleased to have you working on the future of Cupertino. To Orrin, thank you so much for your years of dedication to Cupertino. You were on the Planning Commission, then you became into the City Council. And I feel like you're kind of like the backbone of Cupertino. I mean, I really thank you for your years of dedication to the city. It really means a lot. And I'm really sorry to see you going from the council, but I'm sure you'll be back and have lots of good support for us. Thank you so much. And Mark, thank you. You all have worked on some of the hardest projects in Cupertino in the last couple of years, as Orrin did too. And you have shown a great deal of dedication to the future of Cupertino, and thank you so much. You have worked very, very hard on the projects, as Orrin has. And I'm so pleased to have city leaders that are so dedicated to the future of Cupertino. So thank you so much. We'll miss you, but we hope to see your smiling faces back here in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Deborah Jameson, followed by Shelley Wolf.
Hi, I'm Deborah Jameson, and I'm here tonight representing the Santa Clara Valley Audubon Society, who has its headquarters at McClellan Ranch Preserve. We would like to thank both Orrin Mahoney and Mark Santoro for their contributions to the difficult task and long years of debate and discussion in preserving and restoring the Stevens Creek corridor and its natural environment. After all that discussion and debate, it turned out pretty well. And you helped create a great deal of natural habitat for wildlife where people can walk along the trail, which was also put in, and enjoy a bit of nature in the city. So for that, we thank you very much. And we hope you continue to attend our annual Wildlife Education Day, which is now held in Blackberry Farm. It's a wonderful event, and help celebrate with us the beautiful park that you've created. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Shelley Wolf from KMBT. I'm the executive director, and I just want to thank all of you guys for your service. The council can't do, or KMBT can't do it without the council. You've been an extraordinary service to us and being partners in what we do and providing the transparency on your own government channel that you run, but also in the support of supporting our public access channel. You guys, as many have said tonight, you guys have many choices to make and many decisions to get to and funds to support, and I always appreciate the fact that you guys come to the studios and know and learn more about what we're doing and what we provide to the community to help us support providing transparency and the funds that you gave us to begin our digital future. So Orrin and Mark, I wish you the best of luck, and Gilbert, I wish you on to new journeys as well through the council, and thank all the council for everything that you guys continue to do and keeping the transparency alive, so and being partners with us, so thank you.
And last but not least, Richard Lowenthal, our former mayor.
I want to thank.
Remember, he said three minutes.
3 minutes. I got that. Appreciate one more zinger from Mark.
There you go.
We're quite fortunate that we have some of the brightest people in the city that are willing to take the abuse that you have to take to be in office here.
Give him an extra 30 seconds.
Cupertino has an active citizenry, which makes it a challenge to lead. And Mark and Orrin, you've done a great job of that. Gilbert, too, as mayor, listening to people, making wise decisions nonetheless. And it's because you're really smart people. And I don't know why smart people stand for the abuse. But you do. You walk precincts, you get yourself elected, that's hard enough. But governing is even harder. And I think people view your job as sort of a prize. But man, I know it can be a lot of work and difficult to reconcile an active, engaged citizenry with moving the city forward in some direction or another. And you've both done really a spectacular job of that. And we're so lucky to have people of your intellect and your patience and your hard work to serve us. It is a lot of work to be a council member. There's all these events that you referred to earlier that you go to. You have to have the patience to listen to everybody who wants to speak to you, because everybody wants to speak to you, and they, interestingly enough, don't always have the same views. And it's the rubber meets the road here in the council chambers with you making the decision, taking the hit a lot of the times. I think, I regret not having said something like this during your terms, because you need to hear it every day, because you primarily hear criticisms. But thank you for moving the city forward, and thank you for serving. There's a lot of other things you could do with your time, and we deeply appreciate that people of your intellect and work ethic serve the city. Thank you very much.
Mayor, can I ask Richard? Can I ask Richard a quick question?
You may.
If it's super quick.
Oh, sorry. Rod has to say yes.
Would you like to run it again?
No, I know better. But I think as we'll see in a few minutes, the city is in exceptional hands, and there are plenty of bright people here, and Mark and Orrin, and frankly Barry, Rod, and Gilbert. You are all examples of really sharp people that can move us forward. So, no, you don't need me. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'm going to ask our outgoing council members.
I would just like to say on behalf of Orrin and myself, and probably the rest of the council, I've never seen this many people and Sheriff Lori Smith and her gang all show up at the same time when we weren't all getting yelled at. So this is great.
Sure, this is great.
Yeah, we should do this more often.
A praise fest. Okay. So at this time, I'm going to ask our outgoing council members to take a seat in the audience. And we're all going to take seats again, and we're going to move on to item 3. And item 3 is the oath of office to our newly elected or re-elected council members. And we're going to start with Barry Chang.
Can I have my wife and my daughter stand behind me? Thank you. Can you two come up? You stand behind me. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
You spot?
Okay.
Good.
Would you please raise your right hand?
Sure.
I, please state your name,
I, Barry Chang,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and all domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
And I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter
the duty upon which I am about to enter
for the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Cupertino.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So next, we're going to have Savita Vaidhyanathan come up front with Supervisor Joe Simidian. And of course, you're welcome to have family members join you. And if you can stand about where we had Barry's family standing, I think that'll work best.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Savita Vaidhyanathan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter for the city of Cupertino. By the power vested in me, under the Charter of the County of Santa Clara and the Constitution of the State of California, I now pronounce you duly and fully sworn. Thank you for your public service.
Thank you very much.
Somehow we freed up a seat for you up here, so come on up. And now we're going to have Darcy Paul, newly elected, sworn in by Judge Hyman.
No, she's a little fidgety. So. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
Darcy Paul,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
to
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
or
purpose of evasion,
and
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter for the city of Cupertino. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
Wonderful, thank you. We will now turn to item 4, and I think our city manager has this item. He's not sure. We could just do it again.
Oh, so I need to note that on December the 2nd, actually I thought the clerk was going to do this, but the council elected Vice Mayor Barry Chang and Mayor Rod Sinks.
Now the oath again.
And I have the privilege of being sworn in by Supervisor Joe Simidian. And I'd like my family to come on. My mother's here from Minneapolis, where I grew up. And my wife, Britta, is here, and my daughter, Christina, and my son, Mark.
Please raise your right hand and repeat. I
Rod Sinks,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the great state of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter for the city of Cupertino. I am pleased to call you Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And now we are going to have Barry sworn in by City Clerk Grace Schmidt, along with family.
I want to thank my wife and my daughter, my wife Sue and my daughter Alice, helped me a lot. First daughter, older one, cannot make it. The younger son also have a schedule conflict, so thank you very much for putting up with me. You know how hard it is.
Raise your right hand.
Sure.
I
I, Barry Chang,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and their allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duty that I'm upon to say it again.
The duties
The duty
upon which I am about to enter
upon which I'm about to enter
for the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Great Cupertino.
Thank you. And at this time, I would like to ask Gilbert Wong to join David and I at the front of the stage.
I'd like to ask my family, please come on up. Come on up, Emily.
She's a little shy.
So this is my wife, Helen, my 10-year-old Emily's out there, and my 15-year-old's at home. She has finals this evening.
Gilbert Wong, as our outgoing mayor, you've presided over a tremendous year. We've accomplished a lot, and I congratulate you. And this is a plaque with only half a gavel. But we know you wielded it well in the last year, and we'd like to thank you for your service to our city.
Thank you very much.
So every year, the staff thanks our outgoing mayor with a gift. We try to make it a little bit personal. And as many of you know, the Gilbert travels a great deal on behalf of the city, and he let us know early that he actually broke his luggage. He traveled so much. So we replaced a small token of that. And we also have a nice a gift of the city council in which you were mayor last year.
Oh, that's nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I now open the floor to council members who would like to say a few words about our, well, anything really. Incoming council members.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much to the community. I see so many people around here in the room that comprise Cupertino and make our community what it is, and it's a great community. I want to thank Mark and Orrin for their service to Cupertino, and I know I have very big shoes to fill in both regards, and I'll do my best. I want to name everyone here that I owe thanks to, but unfortunately, I'm going to limit myself to 3 minutes. So want to basically say thank you to my fellow commissioners with whom I've served over the past 7 years. I see David Fung is here representing the commission. I've worked on the Chamber of Commerce for 5 years, and I want to be able to thank people like Tim Widman, as well as our incoming president, Richard Abdallah, and our main staffer, Anjali Kauser, this year. We've done a tremendous job, and it's not been easy. Previous people in the chamber that took the helm of president include John Zarelli of Recology and Lin Ching, who were greatly supportive in terms of my first efforts to break out into helping the community in 2009. I want to thank my wife and her family and our daughters. more than anything else, they have to put up with everything that comes with the personal travails of getting involved with the community. I want to say thank you so much, Sharon. I apologize for everything you've had to put up with over the last several years, and hopefully we can do really well for Cupertino in the upcoming years. I have to thank a couple of campaign volunteers because they worked so hard over the course of the last 8 or 9 months. Demille Azim and Alex Ho, both students still in college, as well as Dennis Chu sitting next to them there. Thank you so much. And one thing I want to say, and this is the substantive point I'd like to make here, is that recently, because of all this busyness with the campaign and with work, with family, with activities, things are a complete mess in my office, right? And so for the last several years, papers have been piling high. I encountered a few chamber papers that I ran into, I just put somewhere in a corner about 4 years ago. And it's something called Access Cupertino. And basically what the chambers of commerce around here do is that they go to Sacramento every year and they essentially lobby. Now, we get sheets that basically tell whether people are good for business or bad for business in terms of our legislators, right? So we've got the senators, we've got all of the assembly members. And it's really striking because if you go down the party lines, you start at 13-0, 14-0, or 13-1, 14-0, and they're all Republicans. And then there's a dividing line, and then all of a sudden, all the Democrats start voting like 2 good, 13 bad, et cetera, et cetera. And what I want to say about Cupertino is that we bring our brains and our integrity to the table here. Because at the end of the day, we understand that there doesn't have to be a dividing line between business and things like the environment. And if you've been paying attention to the last 20 hours in the last 2 weeks that we've had of council meetings over 3 nights, you'll see that we're able to skirt a very fine line, and it's worth skirting because we can do what's right for the economy, we can do what's right for the businesses, and we can do what's right for the environment. So all I ask is that the citizens of Cupertino and the people who have interests in Cupertino keep bringing your brains and your integrity to the table, and I think we will have another 60 years of incredible success. I think there are larger lessons to be learned from this, and I thank you, every one of you, and the larger community for giving me the opportunity to serve.
Savita?
Thank you, Mayor Sinks. I'd like to thank those who endorsed me first: Santa Clara County Supervisor Joe Simitian, Sheriff Laurie Smith. I know she's here. I can't see her. She left. Okay. Former Mayor Orrin Mahoney, former Mayor Richard Lowenthal, Mayor Rod Sinks, and of course I had a lot of help from Barry and Gilbert. This was not an easy process for me, the campaigning. It was a short 4 months. It was really fast, really excruciating. Well, we know how the final results were. They were also very excruciating. For 10 days, we didn't know what was happening. But I would like to thank each and every one of you. This room has a lot of Rotarians, right? Many Rotarians, many friends who are Rotarians, many friends from West Valley Community Services, the Chamber of Commerce, the school district. Thank you all so much for being here today, for supporting me throughout the process. And of course, my family in India, my parents and my sister and all the other family in India who could have voted if they could, really. They would have voted if they could have. There was so much support from them. And with the 12.5 and 13.5 hour difference with India, it was always strange when they would ask, are the results out? Is it 5:30 p.m. your time? Tell us what's happening. It was a really strange journey there. I would really like to thank my husband and my daughter, my 2 pillars of support through and through. They were the core committee. We really were the core committee. And then there are so many other people in this room. Please wave your hands. My steering committee. Thank you so much for helping me. And the 5,552 registered voters in Cupertino who crossed ethnic lines. Thank you so much for voting. Thank you for your faith in me, and I really hope that I will uphold that and serve you. It's been, like Darcy said, we had 2 back-to-back sessions which went up to 3 a.m. and then yesterday's session we ended sometime this morning around 12:30 in the morning. But I'm learning a lot. I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm tiring the staff, I know that. But I think you would like me to make an educated response to your questions rather than just say something to get the job done, which is why I'm sitting right here in Mark Santoro's chair, so hopefully I will ask all the questions that he did and more than that too. I do read everything that I get. My daughter says the living room looks like, you know, some campaign headquarters still, because I have maps, folders, files that thick that I browse through each and every word, and what I don't understand, I ask. There's a lot of jargon to learn. You know, we talked about the general plan amendment and the housing element and all that. It was a lot of stuff for me to understand in the first couple of weeks. All I can say is I will do my best, and I really, really thank you all for being here today. Thank you for your faith in me.
Other comments?
Yes, I do.
I'm sorry, I need to add one thing. So on the campaign trail, whenever there was an event that involved the public, Mayor Gilbert Wong was always there to say, you know, you have to thank your wife. Remember to thank your wife. And of course, this time I remembered to thank Sharon, but I forgot to thank Mayor Wong, who gave me his sole endorsement last year. So thank you so much, Gilbert. You're a great friend. As you can see from our last couple of weeks, we're not going to agree on every single one of these votes, but I'm honored to call you my friend and colleague on the council. So thanks.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Paul.
Savita or Gilbert?
First, now being Orrin being off, I'm the most senior council member, which is really scary with 7 years under my belt. Number one, say congratulations to Mayor Rod Sinks for being our mayor. He already did 3 council meetings, 2 that ended at 3 o'clock in the morning, and our last one that ended around midnight. And also I want to congratulate our new vice mayor, Barry Chang, who also has 3 years of 3 years of experience as well too. As Darcy and Savita said, that we have a really wonderful team for my last 2 years on the city council. I think that 2 years as mayor, 7 years on the city council, 6.5 years on the planning commission really helped me, will prepare me for my last 2 years here. And there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be working together. I think that we have a really wonderful team. And like I said back in 2007, when I was first elected with Chris Wang, we were so proud to have 2 Asian Americans elected for those 2 seats. In 2009, we were joined by Barry Chang, and we had the first time an Asian American majority city council. And everybody said, oh, we're so scared, we're all going to be voting together. But we found out that all 3 of us were very unique, and we were the best show in town. The City Channel was the #1 show to watch and everything. But I think today, you know, here we're so excited. I'm so excited to have Savita to join us on the council. Finally, a woman coming back since Councilmember Wang, our first South Asian woman, first Indian American woman elected. I know Maheshni Alani was the first candidate who ran, but we're very proud to have that segment of the community that has been very active in the community that finally not only got a seat on the city council, but also on the Cupertino School Board, where we also have, for the first time, have an Asian American majority school board as well too. And it really speaks to our constituency, where we have over 50% Caucasian voters, is that we're really a colorblind society. And I hope, like I said in 2009 to San Jose Mercury News, that if we had 5 Caucasians or 5 Latinos or 5 Asian Americans, that we're all here going to be proud to represent our community. And I'm looking forward to working with the community members, especially with our senior staff here, because we can't do anything without our wonderful staff, and especially my family, my wife Helen, my 10-year-old daughter Emily, who's on that iPhone 6, as well as Allison at home, who I think is doing her homework or probably watching her dad embarrassing her, as well as my in-laws and my parents who are out in Los Gatos. There's a lot of people who are out there that I want to say shout outs to as well too, and say thank you to the elected leaders, former mayors, former city managers who came to celebrate this night. It's really a celebration for Cupertino. And again, thank you for having me as your mayor. It's a privilege to be your mayor. It's an earned position by the city council, and thank you again.
Thank you, Gilbert. Barry.
I really want to thank all Cupertinians who voted this time. This is the most contentious city election I ever encountered. And I was number 3 on November 4. The next day I was number 4. I was out. And then so I was a little bit depressed. And my wife came over and say, "How do you feel?" I say, "Feel not too good." So she gave me the hug and the pat in the back. That's the most comfortable hug and the most comfortable pat in my back that I ever received in my whole lifetime. Most people know I have a very special personality. It's very hard to put up with me. Most of you know. But my wife put up with me the most, the longest, except my parents. But I really appreciate Sue's put up all this headache with me. And then my daughter, all my children, and especially my second daughter, who is attorney, graduated from UCLA, and then then went to Santa Clara Law School, and then graduated, passed the bar exam, and she's my good writer. She added in a lot of my stuff. Okay, so without her help, cannot do it. And then this campaign, without my campaign manager, Timothy, raise your hand, yeah? And Jenny is not here. Those are my two most work hard campaign manager. And my campaign team, Doc, has been Doc Everson, has been helped, Philip, and then Tim Brand, and Kathy Diltz, Misty, Jim, David, whole bunch of the team. And Linda Sell, without your help, this race, I don't think I can win. Okay, I mean, at one point, the top 5 is only 70 votes apart. Okay, you can see how close it is. So everybody know no one know what the result. I remember Darcy asked me when I was number 4, "Are you going to do the recount? Are you going to do the recount?" I say, "Darcy, if you and Savita is ahead of me, then there's no recount." Right? You did. Yeah, so, but, we don't need to do the recount. And I was traced Savita on the second day, and doesn't feel quite good at the beginning, because my supporters say, "Well, you support her. Did you ask her to endorse you, to help you?" I said, "No."
But I did.
So, how stupid are you? Yeah. Right. Okay, got it. Okay. Really want to thank everybody for helping me. And I'm, as I said before, as people saying, things always getting better and better. And I can guarantee you, this council is getting better and better. And we're facing a lot of challenge. Sometimes Mayor Singh did not mention one meeting was last year 5 a.m. Okay, and a couple meetings.
I didn't.
You're not
that one,
you're
no.
not the mayor. You're not the mayor. Yeah, yeah. So, but we work hard. We will get the job done, and then we'll, all of us, the previous council, the current council, as Orrin said, we all have Cupertino in our heart, and that's why we're running. So guarantee it, we'll work hard for the city. We may not agree on 100%, and I may not be as smooth as I'm supposed to be. I'm getting there, but just put up with me. Bear with me. This city definitely will get better and better. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I forgot something. The City Channel was very kind enough to put together on the link here. Dana Ding did a really nice tape for me. Could you roll that for me, please, if you don't mind? This is a day in the life of a mayor.
Yeah, we can't. This was given to us by Ding Ding TV,
and are happy to play it.
Thank you. Thank you, Vaidhyanathan.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to hold most of my remarks to the State of the City address, which is going to be January 28th, and you're all welcome to that. It's a joint effort of the city and the Rotary Club and the Chamber. That'll be in Quinlan, and it's going to be a dynamite production. We've already shot a lot of video on this, haven't we, Council? So it's going to be a lot of fun. But I do want to say I'm very, very pleased to have these new council members here. You know, it is a very difficult thing to step into the middle of the process that we've been in the last month. You can ask my mother, who came to town and who's barely seen me because in the week since Thanksgiving, because we've really been chugging to work through our general plan amendment and housing element in particular, not to mention a climate action plan and the Stevens Creek Corridor master plan and several other bike safety issues and other things that have come up. So it's been a heck of a start for these folks, and I think maybe you actually elected them to the fire department because they've been drinking from the proverbial fire hose in a major way, but I'm very happy that we have the intellect and capacity in these two new council members to digest the material and you know, come to some reasoned conclusions and make something good of it after such a short time. So I'll leave my remarks there, other than to, again, thank my family and appreciate all their support. My son, Mark, just home from college, my daughter, Christina, senior at Monte Vista, my wife, and my mother, who are all here to support me, along with my friends, and I appreciate it. I have some friends from my scout troop here, and some friends we may hear from later. And at this time, I'm going to open this up to public comment. And if you want to speak, addressing any of us on this item, I would invite you to take a blue card. And let's see if we can keep the speeches relatively brief in the interest of enjoying the party afterward, okay? So with that, I have, again, Mahesh Nilani and Rich Abdullah and Anjali Kauser, followed by Michael Gottwald.
Thank you, Mayor Sinks. I was actually waiting for this to happen quickly because I have to go for a dinner. But I couldn't have missed this for the world because we have our own Savita Vaidhyanathan being sworn in and as a council member to represent us here. But anyway, to begin with, congratulations to all of you, Mayor Sinks and Vice Mayor Barry Chang. We are very proud to have you here. And we hope in the continuing years, you know, we will have the support that we've been getting from everybody in the past, and you always have our support. Vice Mayor Barry Chang, I hope now, since you are the Vice Mayor now and the next mayor, we hope to see you more in the community events. So, and of course, like I said, Gilbert, thank you so much for being a friend. You've been absolutely tremendous. A lot of things in the community started with your help and support, and we always look forward to that. And you have our support always too. For Savita, yes, like you mentioned, excruciating pain. Well, these are pains and pleasures of being a city council member, and you will have a lot and lots and lots to go through. Okay, but
Thank
we
you,
are
Mahesh.
absolutely proud of you, and we are sure that you're strong enough to sustain all that. And any kind of support and everything that you have from us will always be there for you. Our blessings are always there for you.
Thank you
Darcy
very
has
much,
been,
Mahesh.
You're most welcome. Darcy has been a great friend and colleague of ours. We have worked together at the Cupertino Historic Society and the Chamber and a lot of events together. And Darcy, like I said, you've been a friend. You have all the support always from us. And we look forward to seeing you in the community activities that will carry on. And
Thank you.
I have with me Mahesh and Reena from the Bhubaneswar Cupertino Sister City initiative. And we have some gifts for you people. So she's going to come and give it to you. But as a tradition that Ram and I started, we have a cake here for you. And
Thank you.
it has all your names on it. Mayor Sinks, Vice Mayor Barry Chang, Savita, Gilbert, and Darcy.
Mahesh.
Please enjoy it. I have to run.
Thank you, Reena
so
and
much.
Mahesh, too.
Mahesh, have a great night.
Thank you, Reena. Thank you, Reena. Thank you, Mahesh.
Thank you so much. Michael.
I'm Michael Gottwald, and I'd like to thank outgoing Mayor Gilbert Wong for his year of service as mayor and for everything he has done for the city of Cupertino. And I'd like to welcome Savita and Darcy and wish them the best.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Rich Abdallah.
Rich Abdallah again, incoming chamber president, and would like to thank, and I have some of my board members here, all of you for agreeing to join either for the first time for Darcy and for Savita, and for re-election for Barry. I know it was, talk about coming from one angle to another, so to speak. That was quite a 10 days. And Rod, good luck as mayor. I think you've had the first two toughest meetings any mayor probably has ever had, at least as far as the amount of time that was involved, and the subject matters were very serious. We've wanted to present these flowers to you from our chamber board. We look forward to a dynamic and interesting and productive year with the council. In particular, I want to say to Gilbert, you have been a great member of the chamber and a great supporter of the chamber. We're about to come up to our Lunar New Year, which I know you have taken on as a project, and we appreciate that very much. And to the rest of you, we look forward to seeing you at the State of the City address. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Next, I will call Marty Miller, then Irene Steves, and Dennis Chu. Marty, are you here?
Darcy, Savita, and Barry, good luck in your new roles this year. And Gilbert, I first met Gilbert when I joined the Planning Commission in 2003, and he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. And ever since that time, I've realized that Gilbert has a passion for city service. Not only was he a Planning Commission member for, I forgot how many years, Gilbert, but the City Council, the Chamber, and the Rotary. And Gilbert, whatever he was doing for the city, he spent hours and hours and hours making sure he understood the issues and looked at all sides and spoke to all people. And I couldn't figure out where he found all those hours, and I was going to ask his wife Helen where he did that also at some point. I know that Gilbert has been a strong advocate of the library, making sure that it was open 7 days a week because he believes very strongly in education. And Gilbert was also did a great job in shepherding the Sister City programs, always had his suitcase packed. and also the student exchange program as well. But what I remember most, and have noticed throughout the years about Gilbert, is he really cares about the individual, the residents in this town. And he took incredible hours helping residents, particularly residents who, for which English was not their first language, understand how to negotiate the bureaucracy of the city and make sure that they were getting addressed and getting the things that they needed. Thank you, Gilbert, for your service this last year as mayor and for all the other years of service that you've given.
Thank you, Marty.
Irene Steves, followed by Dennis Chu.
Good evening. Tonight I'm here on behalf of the Santa Clara Valley Audubon Society. I would just say really quickly, Councilmember Chang, congratulations on your re-election. You have always been a great friend to nature and wildlife, and we greatly appreciate your work. Council members Vaidhyanathan and Paul.
Good job.
Thank you. Congratulations, and thank you for joining us on at our holiday open house and nature walk. And I also thank you both for your commitment to the environment. And to all of you, we look forward to working with you in years to come. And yeah, just thank you for being here.
Great, thank you. Dennis Chu.
Good evening. Dennis Chu on behalf of Assemblymember Evan Lowe. Unfortunately, Assemblymember Lowe could not be here this evening, but he wanted to make sure that our office was here to congratulate and thank all of you. First of all, it must be said that we thank former Mayor Gilbert Wong for his spectacular leadership over the last year in traveling to the ends of the earth, representing Cupertino well and faithfully. We also would like to thank former council members Mahoney and Santoro for their outstanding service to this community and for keeping Gilbert out of trouble. Second, we would like to congratulate Barry Chang, Savita, Vaidhyanathan, and Darcy Paul for their election and re-election to the Cupertino City Council. Assemblymember Lowe looks forward to working with you and the entire City Council. We also would like to thank and congratulate Mayor Rod Sinks and Vice Mayor Barry Chang for their ascension to their new roles as leaders of the City of Cupertino. Finally, I'd just like to close by saying that Cupertino is an important member of the 28th Assembly District family, and Assemblymember Lowe looks forward to working with Mayor Sinks and the City of Cupertino and the Council to improve the lives of all residents in your city. And congratulations and best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm coming down to the last cards. If you want to speak and you haven't turned in a blue card, please do so in the next minute. So at this time, I have Kuming Huang from Arastradero Road in Palo Alto. Kuming Huang. Ah, there you are. Pronounce it. Chiming.
Chiming, yeah, cute pronunciation.
Thank you.
Good evening. I drove here in a rainy day. And it's my pleasure to join the City Council meeting of Cupertino. And I came here, I want to take the opportunity to thank Vice Mayor Barry Chang for his support and help, and also the advice to some of Palo Alto's community services and activities. And also want to congratulate on your successful election. And keep up the good work for the city of Cupertino, and I hope to see you more in Palo Alto. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to call Misty Zhang, and followed by David Lee.
I would like to say congratulations to Barry. You know, I'm one of your team member for your campaign, and this is a great team. We work hard together, and we get it done and successfully. And I know we really admire you because you do a lot tremendous, prison walking this is, I don't see in my life so far. So I say you work hard from the very beginning and you work very hard to the end. You will make this city more better and beautiful in the future. This is a diverse community, and through your many years experience, you will make tremendous effort, and we really feel really blessed for this. Thank you very much.
Missy, thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
Thank you. Next is Jennifer Swanton Brown, who is our Cupertino Poet Laureate. Sir, who are you? Do we have a blue card for you?
Yeah, David Lee.
Oh, you're David. I'm sorry. Correct. Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah,
And next will be
congratulations
Jennifer.
to the new council members, but congratulations especially to Barry as one of your campaign team. We are proud of you. We are proud of you for your leadership and your guidance. And it is not, there are some difficult times during the campaign. And you say it's not, it's winning at all cost. We are proud of you for your principles and integrity. And having known you for more than 20 years, and you are not a typical politician, but that's why we love you. And thank you and best wishes to you.
David, I need to say a few words. David, stay there. Quite a few times when I ran my campaign and I ran out of time, I did not have time to eat dinner and show up at your home at 9 o'clock in the night. And I always get something to eat at your home. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you. Jennifer Swanton Brown, followed by Mark Santoro, and then Patrick Kwok.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Swanton Brown, and I'm the Cupertino Poet Laureate. And I am very grateful to the City Council for establishing the position of Poet Laureate for the City of Cupertino in collaboration with the Cupertino Library, the Library Commission, the Friends of the Cupertino Library, and the Cupertino Library Foundation. I was hoping that I would have the opportunity to write a poem for all of you tonight, but I didn't quite get that far. So I Googled poem for a mayor.
How about vice mayor?
Well, I'm actually personal friends with Mayor Sinks. I think we may be at least 15 years in this community, musicians and German speakers and singers all together. And so I was quite surprised to find a poem very appropriate for the occasion. It's written by an American poet, Tim Dlugos, and you need to know two things before I read this. You need to know that Goethe is the most important poet from Germany, and he's referenced in this poem. He is purported to have said on his deathbed the words in German, mehr Licht, which means more light. So this poem is called Mehr Licht. Mehr Licht were the last words of Goethe on his deathbed as the darkness closed around him. But Mayor Licht was also the chief executive of Providence, Rhode Island in the early 80s. I'm dreaming of the best political commercial of all time, Weimar in the 1830s, Goethe gasping, Mehr Licht, mehr Licht. And suddenly, Mayor Harry Licht of Providence appears to pump the paw of the poet and save the day.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's wonderful. Mark.
Hi, Mark Santoro, resident of the fine city of Cupertino. I'd like to...
Haven't I seen you before?
I like the tux.
Thank you. I'd like to congratulate all of you for having the opportunity to serve the residents of Cupertino. For those that are new, I wish you the best on an arduous task. For those of you that have been there for a while, I know you understand, and I'm sure you will help the new members to do a fine job. I want to remind all of you that you represent the people of Cupertino, and I'm sure you'll all do your best to do a fine job. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. And the penultimate card, it goes to Patrick Kwok.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, Patrick Kwok here, former Mayor and City Council of Cupertino. And I'd like to thank former Mayor and City Council Mahoney and also Santoro for being a good service to the Cupertino. Together, they have thousands and thousands of hours of community services, city and city council, and doing community work and also on committee assignments. And they have done a good job, and my strong appreciation to their great job. And congratulate Darcy Paul and Barry Chang and Savita for being elected, and also for former Mayor Gilbert Wong. You broke the record, Gilbert, at the last meeting. The meeting did not finish until 5. And when I was in a meeting with Senator James, the meeting finished at 5 minutes to 3. That was the record, but you broke the record. But once again, thank you very much. And Cupertino has a lot of challenges ahead. And with the new leadership, I think you guys will be in good shape and lead Cupertino into the better for the next 2 years or 4 years. Once again, thank you much.
Patrick?
Thank you.
Patrick, thank you very much for coming. And then just in case people did not know that Patrick was our former mayor too. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen who have patiently waited through this longer than I expected, at least, ceremony, I have in my hand the last card. And it belongs to, is this somebody from Los Altos? Vicky Reeder of Los Altos.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
The whole team?
Hello. I brought some friends with me. This is the Los Altos Follies group that Rod is a part of. I'm going to see if they can get in their positions. Leave a little space for me right there. So this in the front row, you see Krista Crames, Rhea Feldman, John Sylvester, and the back row, Doug Wilbanks, Gordon Abraham, Duncan McVicker, and David Shaw, and on guitar, Bill Brown. We're going to sing now.
He climbed up Fremont Boulder, saw Lehigh plant below, saw pollution as far as he could see. And they say that he got crazy then and decided he should run. And he won the vote but kept integrity. Now he's on the city council where the meetings last all night, losing sleep as night turns into day. His side is turned on clean air now to try to understand the complexity of the big old EPA. He's a Cupertino City Council guy. He's seen plants spewing toxins in the sky. And mercury is falling on the rest of us nearby. City Council guy. Cupertino. City Council guy. Cupertino. Now he's sworn in as the mayor, but his heart still knows some fear of the complex things the council must attend. Why Apple's obscene profit profits are being hidden far offshore. He's happy that the term is just 1 year. And the Cupertino City Council guy, he's seen plants spewing toxins in the sky. We know he'd be a poor man if he never gave the college try. City Council guy, the Cupertino City Council guy, he's seen plants spewing toxins in the sky. Apple is expanding and the traffic will be high. City Council guy, Cupertino. City Council guy, Cupertino. City Council guy, City Council guy.
Well then, thank you very much. I think you should go back to picking on Los Altos. But I appreciate my fellow cast members in the Follies. I've been there for some 7 years and always enjoy singing with Vicki. And we get to satirize politicians every October, raise about $40,000 for community theater in the stage company in Los Altos. So it's a great group to perform with. So thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to close the public testimony on this item. And I am going to adjourn this meeting to January 20th. Yes, we will. And in the meantime, I would invite you to enjoy the reception in the lobby. Thank you very much.